Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. I grew up in a holiness sanctified Pentecostal church, Church of God in Christ. And this was in the 70s, the early 70s. No one else in my family went, so I was there on my own. The pastor's wife, Thelma Rainey, Mother Thelma Rainey, who everybody knew as Nan, took me in as her goddaughter, which was really lovely and beautiful and necessary at the time. Nana was beautiful, amazing, prayerful, a prayer warrior. She was a woman of faith, and she was also complicated. She had some things about her that were always fascinating and unfolding in ways that I couldn't comprehend. Um, she had a friend who was at the time what people would call, they said he was very feminine, they said he was a sissy, they said he was gay, and he was one of her best friends. Now, my own mother, was by everybody else's standards a fallen, loose woman, was unsaved. My mother loved everybody. She had gay friends and white friends and Jewish friends, and she loved everybody. But in the Sanctified Holiness Pentecostal Church, you were not supposed to be with those who were not of God. You were supposed to step away from anybody who was ungodly. In fact, we were sanctified and holy, meaning separated and holy, separated from the world. We were in the world, but not of the world. And you were not supposed to cling to anything of this world. You could not listen to any music other than gospel music. You could not participate or go to any clubs. Or you don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't mess around, you don't, none of those things. You're not supposed to do any of those. Those are all sinful and unholy. And you surely couldn't be gay. But Nana has this friend. And so one day I asked her about him. And I said, I thought, according to what everybody says, that he's a sinner. And she said, have you ever heard? She would always call her husband Reverend. You ever heard Reverend say that? And our pastor didn't say those things. He really spread the good news and the gospel, and he was a teacher, and he was really studious. And at a time when most people in our diocese were preaching against, you could always get a good sermon against homosexuality and against earrings like this and against cutting your hair or perming your hair or wearing makeup. All of that was, that was all sinful. Red lipstick, ooh, you better not wear red lipstick, or nail polish, or ooh. So I said, no, I never heard him say that. And she said, okay. And she said, well, how do you experience him? What is he to you? I said, he's nice, he's kind, he's always happy, he's funny. And she said, okay. And I said, but is he a sinner? And she said, we're all sinners, baby, saved by grace. And I said, oh, but isn't he unholy because he's gay? And she said, he is what God made him. And there was never another conversation about it. And so the complexity of this, and I remember he would come to some weeknight services. He didn't come on Sundays. He wasn't there a lot during the week, but he was there whenever she was speaking or doing anything. And he was a very dear, dear, dear friend to her. And she was a very dear, dear friend to him. And if our faith rejects anybody, what is it? Here's my mother, the drunk woman with all them kids and no daddy, who loves everyone. And then a group of folks who, under their own banners, reject love, withhold love. and claim to represent God's love. I love my Nana. I love that in her beautiful complexity, I was able to see the truth that we are all God's children. We all belong, and we are all loved. My mother taught it to me first. I love you.